for another step in our berm and swale project.
Today we're going to be putting together a very important part of our berm and swale. You know, we're going to be planting trees and grasses, and in order for that to germinate and stay where it's supposed to,
not blow away or get washed away by the rains
and hold water.
Yeah.
So we're going to be putting together a wood chipper because we do have lots of trees and limbs here on the property that we can trim up.
Yeah.
And chip our own mulch.
Yeah, and in the desert, mulch isn't really as readily available, at the store.
Right.
Like most places would have.
In Knoxville, where we used to live, we would get mulch for free. They were just giving it away all the time. But out here, it's about $250 to get a truckload of mulch.
Like the bed of our truck, not like a dump truck or like a delivery truck, like just our truck.
And so that would be thousands of dollars worth of mulch that we would need. So over time, we're just going to be mulching up our trees and limbs and using them here on the homestead.
Yeah, this is once again something totally new for us. We've never used one of these. We've never put one together. So this should be interesting. Fingers crossed.
Remember how bad it was when we put together all those cement mixers?
Well, here's what I'm hoping. And this, I may be totally wrong. I may be just guessing on all this. I know that Harbor Freight stuff is generally coming straight from China, and that's why it's so cheap. And I know that Champion is probably also made in China, but I'm hoping that there's a layer of translation that maybe will be a little better here because they are an American company. I'm assuming they're an American company. Maybe I should research that before I say it.
You should probably. We'll leave.
It does say made in China right on the box there. So who knows what's going to happen? Could be lots of fun.
I'm just ready to put it together.
Okay, let's open this thing up and let's see how... I'm hoping that most of it's already put together.
Okay.
We just got to stick on the handles and the bag and the wheels.
I'm pretty sure it's bigger than this size, but we'll see.
Okay. Muscles out of the way.
Today we are chipping up a bunch of limbs that we have sitting around. When we first moved to this property over 2 years ago.
Many moons ago.
Just 2 years ago.
Feels like many moons ago.
We trimmed a bunch of trees that are nearby our airstream.
Mesquite trees, mostly. Yeah.
Super big thorns too, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have piles all over the 6 acres that's fenced in.
Everywhere. They're everywhere, yeah. They're
we invested in a wood chipper right there. And we are going to be chipping up all these limbs. And we're in the middle of monsoon season, so every afternoon it seems we're getting storms and we can't chop this when it's wet. So we're going to be doing this as often as we can because pretty soon we're going to be planting on that berm.
Party. Yeah, we got to get ready for this planting party. And the planting party will also go along with doing that handwork on the berms and the swales to even them out and get things at the right slope and all that stuff, which we'll get into in another video.
Hey, babe.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been explaining this for a long time.
Well, I just, I'm sure people have questions, and I just want to make sure we answer as many of those questions as we can before they watch you chop a lot of wood. That's all. Chip a lot of wood. Chip it, chop it.
Hey, do you want to just get going?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you've done a little bit already.
Yeah.
And it's pretty slow going.
Yeah. We made a small dent in this huge pile.
Oh, you did make a
So
pretty
we're going to
good
keep
dent.
going.
Yeah.
And these large, we haven't tried any of the large ones yet.
We're a little nervous to put the big limbs in the little hole. So.
All right, you want to get started? You done? You done talking? You okay? All right. While Jonathan tries to gain his composure.
Okay.
I'm going to get started with this wood.
Let's chip some wood.
So after a couple of hours of using this wood chipper, there's a couple of things I've learned. Goggles and ear protection is definitely a must. Also, you can't stuff a bunch of stuff in there. You gotta wait till it goes down and then keep adding. Also, I cannot push in those big 3-inch limbs, so Jonathan's over there trying to get it ready and see if he can do it. Like, the area that the 3-inch limbs are supposed to go into is super tight, and if any part of a limb is sticking off the main limb, if any nub is left on that branch and it's not perfectly straight, it's incredibly hard to get to go through the chipper. So hopefully Jonathan has more luck with it than I did.
It's my turn. Let's do it. Well,
I thought I would like this a little bit more than I do. I thought I would enjoy doing it more.
yeah.
I don't.
It's, nah.
It was hours. Many, many hours of putting limbs in a shredder.
Yeah, and I am not impressed with the 3-inch part of the shredder.
Yeah, it's really hard to stuff it in there.
Well, it's like, it's assuming that you have a perfectly straight piece of wood that's at least like this long
Uh-huh.
and with absolutely no
No nubs.
bumps or turns and that's just not mesquite limbs.
No.
It's just not. They're, yeah.
But you got to remember too, we have a ton of limbs, like small limbs that we can prune off all these trees. So even if we can't do the big stuff, we could save the big stuff for firewood.
Yeah,
and
sure.
use all the little stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we have a ton of these bigger pieces left that we can totally cut up for firewood. So it's fine. It's just
A little disappointing.
because we really didn't. Well, I mean, we did a decent amount of mulch.
Yeah.
But it's still, this doesn't look like
The
that.
amount of time it takes to do it, I don't know if it's worth it. I mean, long term, it'll be nice.
Yeah.
If we can stay on top of it. But like for this project, we just need so much within a week. Like,
I did feel like it actually made a decent amount compared to the pile that was over there. Like that pile wasn't that big, but like, I mean, we've got a good probably 15 feet of berm done.
okay.
15, 20 feet out of 600.
600.
But, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Right?
All right.
It is
At
what it
least
is.
we like know what we're doing now, know how to use it, and we can move it to all the different piles and go ahead and mulch that, and then just bring it to the berm and drop it off and be ready for this weekend.
So this was the first day of mulching. We still have a lot more to do. Now, don't worry, we're not going to show you like 12 days of mulching, but we might show you a little bit more. We've got some ideas, some fun ideas in store for getting this mulching done.
I'm just ready to move on to planting and trees. But we'll get there eventually, right?
All right, we're leaving this pile for now. The limbs are a little too big to go through. The big part and the small part, they're a weird size. So we're gonna deal with those later, make them firewood. We're gonna head up to our chicken garden where we have a bunch of limbs that we cut down from trees around there. We're gonna mulch those up, see where we get. time to make this a little more interesting. Okay, that is enough wood chipping. Next up, we're gonna go buy the trees to put on the berm. We'll see you then.